The ship had been dead for centuries, or at least, that's what the galaxy's archives claimed. Its hull floated silently through the void, encrusted with the ice of 1,000 forgotten comets. To most, it was nothing more than a relic, a tomb drifting in space. But for Yarek, a human scavenger barely out of his 20s, it was a jackpot. He landed his small skiff on the ship's upper hull, the engines whining in protest. The panels creaked under his weight. Inside, the corridors were dark, coated with centuries of dust and forgotten grime. Yet, Yarek moved like he knew every step he took, following the faint hum of residual power that even the galaxy's most sophisticated scanners couldn't detect. "This is it," he muttered, dragging his tools across the cold metal floor. He had a plan, desperate, dangerous, but thrilling. He needed power, raw power, to restart the ship's systems. And the quickest source was the ship itself. He connected the cables. Sparks danced. Smoke curled. The smell of ozone filled the air. "Come on," he whispered, gripping the controls. With a deep breath, he struck a flare. The fire surged along the cables. It wasn't supposed to do anything beyond a few sparks, maybe fry a fuse. But then a deep vibration shook the entire hull. The lights blinked on. Not the flickering lights of a dead system, these were alive, intelligent, thrumming with awareness. Jarek stumbled back. The ship breathed. It was like watching a giant awaken from a dream spanning millennia. Panels slid open on their own, exposing systems long thought lost. The air hummed with energy, and the temperature shifted, just slightly, as if the ship itself exhaled after a long sleep. "A hype," Yarek said, voice trembling. The response wasn't a voice, but a pulsalope, resonant vibration that traveled through the floor into his boots. Words weren't necessary. The ship was alive, aware of him. Then the corridors began to shift. Walls extended and retracted, mapping themselves anew. Doors that had been welded shut for centuries swung open effortlessly. Holographic displays flickered into life, showing constellations, star charts, and planets he had never heard of. Yarek realized something extraordinary. The ship remembered, not just its own systems, but its last mission, its last crew, its purpose. And now it had him. "You've awakened me," the pulse seemed to say, vibrating through the hull. Why, Yurek's grin spread despite his shaking hands. "Well, I needed power. I didn't think you'd wake up." The ship seemed to consider this. Then, slowly, a new passage opened, revealing a hidden control chamber that no map or archive had ever recorded. Within it, a pilot's chair, perfectly preserved, surrounded by displays that adjusted to Yarek's very presence. The ship had chosen him, and in the blackness outside, stars twinkled like curious eyes, waiting for what the human and the ancient Starcruiser would do together. Because some things in the galaxy aren't meant to stay dead, and some humans are meant to wake them.